I don't remember much about before. Shelters blur together after a while. Concrete, metal, noise. The constant barking of dogs who don't understand why they're there. Why no one comes. Why the days repeat endlessly with no change. I'd been in 3 shelters. Or maybe 4. The first one when I was a puppy. Someone found me on the highway, no collar, no chip, no history. I was adopted once. Returned within a month. Too energetic, they said. Destroys things when we leave. The second shelter kept me for 8 months. No one wanted a high-energy shepherd mix with anxiety. Transferred to a different shelter. Better funding, they said. Better chance. 6 more months. Nothing. I was 2 years old. Old enough that puppies got attention instead of me. Young enough that I had years of unwanted life ahead. I'd stopped hoping. Hoping made the disappointment worse. Better to just exist. Day after day. Wait for nothing. Expect nothing. Then one day a woman came. Not like the people who walk through looking at dogs. Those people smiled too much. Made high-pitched noises. Wanted dogs who were cute or small or non-threatening. This woman was different. Professional. She walked past the kennel slowly, deliberately, reading each card with the same careful attention. When she got to mine, she stopped. Read my information. Keeper. Male, German Shepherd mix. Age 2 years. Intake reason, owner surrender. Too much to handle. Notes. High energy separation anxiety. Requires experienced handler, smart, trainable. She crouched down to my level. Looked at me through the chain link. I looked back. Not hopeful, not excited, just looking. You're smart, she said. Not a question, an observation. I tilted my head. You're anxious because you don't have a job. You were bred to work and you're stuck in a kennel doing nothing. That's why you're destructive. You're bored out of your mind. I didn't understand the words, but I understood the tone. Not pity, understanding. How would you like to have a job? She asked. A real job, something important. Her name was Sarah Chun. She ran a program called Second Chances, a service dog training initiative at Coldwater Correctional Facility, a medium-security men's prison 2 hours north. The program worked like this. Inmates who qualified, good behavior, low risk, at least 2 years left on their sentence, could apply to be dog trainers. If accepted, they'd be paired with a shelter dog. They'd spend 18 months training that dog to be a service animal for a veteran with PTSD or a person with a disability. The inmates got job skills, purpose, responsibility. The dogs got intensive training and a second chance at life. The veterans and disabled individuals got fully trained service dogs at no cost. Everyone won, in theory. Sarah explained all this to the shelter director while I sat in the evaluation room. Keeper's perfect for the program, Sarah said. He's smart. He's motivated by work. He just needs structure and purpose. He's also anxious and destructive, the director said. What if he doesn't work out? Then we bring him back. But I don't think we will. I've been doing this for 12 years. I can tell which dogs will succeed. She looked at me. He will. The transport van was small. Just me and Sarah and 2 other dogs from different shelters. A lab mix named Yellow. A collie named Bright. We drove for 2 hours. Through the city, then suburbs, then rural highways, then woods. Finally, we pulled up to a place I'd never seen before. Tall fences, guard towers, concrete buildings painted industrial gray. A sign, Coldwater Correctional Facility. Sarah noticed me staring. I know it looks scary, she said, but you're going to do something important here. You're going to change someone's life, and they're going to change yours. Inside, everything was controlled. We went through multiple security checkpoints. Sarah showed badges, sign forms, opened our crates for inspection. Then we were led through a series of heavy doors, each one locking behind us before the next opened, until we reached a different part of the prison, the education wing. It looked different here, cleaner, quieter, almost like school. There were classrooms, a library, and at the end of the hall, the training center. A large room with soft flooring, training equipment, kennels along one wall, and windows that actually let in natural light. 6 men were waiting, all wearing the same dark blue uniforms, all standing at attention, not moving, not speaking, waiting. Sarah addressed them. Gentlemen, these are your new partners. For the next 18 months, These dogs are your responsibility. You will feed them, train them, care for them, and prepare them for their future roles as service animals. This is not a pet program. This is a job training program. These dogs will save lives. That means you have to give them everything. Understand? Yes, ma'am, they said in unison. Good. When I call your name, step forward. She called the first name. A young man, maybe mid-20s, stepped forward. Yellow the lab was assigned to him. Second name, Bright the collie. Third name, a different dog I hadn't met. Then, Marcus Webb. A man stepped forward. Tall, broad-shouldered, probably late 30s. Black, arms covered in faded tattoos. Face that had seen things. Eyes that looked tired, but also hopeful? Uncertain? Something I couldn't quite read. This is Keeper, Sarah said. German Shepherd mix. 2 years old. High energy, high intelligence. Severe separation anxiety from lack of structure. He needs a firm, consistent handler who won't give up on him. She looked at Marcus directly. Think you can handle that? Marcus looked at me. I looked at him. Yes, ma'am, he said quietly. I can handle that. The first week was chaos. For me, at least. I didn't understand the rules. Didn't understand what was expected. Didn't trust Marcus. Didn't trust this place. I barked constantly. Pulled on the leash. Refused to focus during training. Had accidents in the kennel. Marcus stayed patient. It's okay, he'd say when I messed up. We'll try again. And we'd try again. And I'd mess up again. And he'd stay patient. After 5 days of this, Sarah pulled Marcus aside. I was in my kennel nearby. I could hear them. He's not responding, Sarah said. Maybe this pairing isn't working. He's scared, Marcus said. He doesn't know if I'm staying. He's been abandoned too many times. He thinks I'm going to give up on him, too. So what do you want to do? Keep trying, Marcus said. I'm not giving up on him. Sarah was quiet for a moment. You've got 2 more weeks. If there's no progress, I'll have to reassign him. There'll be progress, Marcus said. That night, Marcus did something different. Usually after evening training, I went into my kennel and he went back to his cell block. But that night, after everyone else left, Marcus sat on the floor next to my kennel. Just sat there, not training me, not talking to me, just present. He pulled out a small notebook and started writing. I watched him. After a while, he looked up. You want to know something? He said quietly. I'm scared too. I tilted my head. I've been in here for 8 years. Got 10 more to go. Aggravated assault. Bar fight that went too far. Guy ended up in the hospital. I ended up in here. He looked at his hands. I had a daughter. She was 3 when I came in. 11 now. She doesn't visit anymore. Hasn't in 2 years. My ex won't bring her. Says I'm a bad influence. His voice cracked. And she's right. I don't know. He looked at me. This program is the first thing I've done in 8 years that matters. That helps someone instead of hurting them. And I'm terrified I'm going to mess it up. That you're going to fail because of me. That I'm going to prove I can't do anything right. He was quiet for a long time. So yeah, I get it. The not trusting. The waiting for me to give up. Because that's what people do, right? They give up. He stood up slowly. But I'm not people. And you're not just a dog. So how about this? I promise not to give up on you if you promise not to give up on me. Deal? He extended his hand through the kennel bars. I looked at it. At him. At this man who was scared and broken and trying anyway. And something in me shifted. I walked forward. Touched my nose to his palm. Deal, he whispered. After that night, everything changed. Not immediately. Not magically. But gradually. Day by day. I started trusting. Started focusing. Started learning. Marcus was a good trainer. Patient, but firm. Clear, but kind. He never yelled. Never punished. Just redirected. Corrected. Tried again. Sit. I sat. Good boy. Stay. I stayed. Come. I came. Basic obedience became easy. Then we moved to advanced commands. Heel. Walking perfectly beside him. Down. Dropping immediately. Leave it. Ignoring distractions. Place. Going to a designated spot and staying until released. Then service-specific training. Pressure. Applying body weight for anxiety relief. Block. Positioning between handler and perceived threats. Watch. Making eye contact on command. Find exit. Locating the nearest door in crowded spaces. I was good at it. Really good. Because it gave me what I'd always needed. Purpose. A job. A reason to exist beyond just existing. Marcus and I developed a routine. 6 a.m. Morning feed and exercise in the small yard outside the training center. 7 a.m. Basic obedience review. 8 a.m. Break while Marcus attended mandatory education classes. 10 a.m. Advanced training. 12 p.m. Lunch and rest. 2 p.m. Service-specific skill work. 4 p.m. Socialization and public access training in different areas of the prison. 6 p.m. Evening feed and wind down. 7 p.m. Marcus would sit by my kennel and write in his notebook while I rested. Every single day. For weeks. Then months. The other trainers noticed. Webb's dog is good, one said to Sarah during an evaluation. Best in this cohort. Sarah agreed. Marcus has a gift. Think he'll continue when he gets out? Sarah looked thoughtful. I hope so. He's a natural. 6 months in, Sarah announced that we'd be starting public outings, taking the dogs to places outside the prison to test their training in real-world environments. Grocery stores, restaurants, busy streets. The veterans who would eventually receive these dogs needed service animals who could handle anything. We'd go in groups, each inmate trainer with their dog. Armed corrections officers accompanying us. The inmates wore civilian clothes. No prison uniforms in public. But they wore ankle monitors. And everyone knew. You could see it in people's faces when they figured out. The quick assessment. Prison program. The caution. These are criminals. The avoidance, stay away. Marcus felt it. I could sense his tension during these outings. The shame, the awareness of being judged. One day at a grocery store, a woman with a shopping cart stopped. Excuse me, is that a service dog in training? Yes, ma'am, Marcus said quietly. That's wonderful. My brother's a veteran. He has PTSD. He's been on a wait list for a service dog for 3 years. This program helps with that, Marcus said. When Keeper completes training, he'll go to a veteran at no cost. The woman's face softened. That's beautiful. Thank you. Really, what you're doing, it matters. Marcus nodded, not trusting himself to speak. After she walked away, he knelt down and hugged me. Did you hear that? He whispered. We matter. What we're doing matters. I leaned into him. Yes, we matter. 1 year in, Marcus had changed. Physically, he looked the same. But something else was different. The way he carried himself. More confident. More purposeful. Less defeated. The other inmates noticed too. Webb's different since he got that dog, one said in the cafeteria. I wasn't there, but Marcus told me about it later. Yeah, less angry. More? I don't know. Human? Marcus had told me stories about his early years in prison. The fights. The isolation. The anger at himself and the world. I was so full of rage, he said one evening. At the system. At my ex. At myself. Mostly at myself. I couldn't see past it. Couldn't see a future. Just years and years of nothing. He scratched behind my ears. And then Sarah brought you. And suddenly I had to think past tomorrow. Had to plan. Had to be responsible for something other than just getting through the day. He was quiet. You saved my life, you know that? I don't mean that as a metaphor. I mean, literally. I was in a bad place. Really bad. And you gave me a reason to keep going. 15 months in. 3 months left. Sarah started bringing prospective veterans to meet the dogs, to see who might be a good match. A man named David came to meet me. Early 40s. Marine veteran. Iraq and Afghanistan. Severe PTSD. Couldn't be in crowds. Couldn't sleep. Hadn't worked in 6 years. Marcus put me through my paces. Every command. Every skill. Perfect execution. David watched with tears in his eyes. He's incredible, David said. He is, Marcus agreed. And he'll really come live with me? For free? Yeah, sir. That's the program. David knelt down. I approached him carefully. Assessed. He was anxious. Traumatized. Needed help. That's what I was trained for. I leaned against him gently. Applied pressure. He wrapped his arms around me and sobbed. I haven't felt safe in years, he whispered. Years. I stayed still. Let him hold me. When he finally pulled back, he looked at Marcus. Thank you. For training him. For doing this. Marcus nodded. Take care of him, Marcus said, voice tight. He's special. I will. I promise. After David left, Marcus sat on the floor, and I sat beside him. He didn't say anything. Just held me. I could feel him shaking. 2 months left. Everyone could feel it. The end approaching. The trainers became quieter during sessions, more affectionate with their dogs, trying to cram a lifetime of connection into borrowed time. Sarah called a meeting. Gentlemen, I want to remind you, these are not your dogs. They never were. You are trainers preparing them for their real purpose. When graduation comes, you will hand them over to their new handlers, and you will walk away. This is part of the job. Understood? Yes, ma'am, they said. But I could hear the strain in their voices, especially Marcus's. That night, Marcus sat by my kennel like always, but he didn't write. Just looked at me. 2 more months, he said. And then you go to David, which is good. That's the point. That's what we've been working toward. Pause, and I'll still be here. Still have 8 more years. Longer pause. I knew this was coming. Knew from day one. But knowing something and feeling it are different, you know. He put his hand through the bars. I pressed my head against it. I'm going to miss you so much, he whispered. More than I thought possible. You're the best thing that's happened to me in here. Maybe the best thing that's ever happened to me, period. His voice broke. And I'm proud of you. So proud. You're going to change David's life. You're going to save him. That's what you were meant to do. He wiped his eyes. But fuck, this is hard. 1 month left. Marcus started pulling away. Not during training. He was professional focused. But after, the evening sits by, my kennel got shorter. Less conversation. More distance. I didn't understand why. One of the other trainers asked him about it. You okay, Webb? You seem off. I'm fine. You're not. Everyone can see you're not. Marcus was quiet for a long time. I'm trying not to make this harder than it has to be, he said finally. Trying to let go gradually, so it doesn't destroy me when he leaves. That's not how it works, man. You can't protect yourself by pulling away now. You'll just regret it later. Maybe. No, maybe. You've got 1 month left with him. Be present. You'll have years to miss him. Don't miss him while he's still here. Marcus took the advice. The next evening he came back, sat by my kennel. I'm sorry, he said. I was being stupid, trying to protect myself. But you deserve better than that. He opened his notebook. I've been writing stories, he said. About us. About the training. About what you've taught me. I'm going to give them to David when you graduate. So he knows your history. Knows how special you are. He started reading. Stories about our first week. About the day I finally trusted him. About our first successful public outing. About the time I alerted to another inmate having a panic attack in the cafeteria. Something I wasn't trained to do. Just instinct. About how I'd changed his life. Given him purpose. Made him want to be better. When I get out, he read, I'm going to work with dogs. I don't know how yet. Don't know what that looks like. But this, training you, this is the first time I felt like I'm good at something. Like I'm contributing something positive to the world. He closed the notebook. So thank you for giving me that. 2 weeks left. Graduation preparations began. The dogs were evaluated one final time. Every command, every skill, in various environments, under stressful conditions. I passed everything. Perfect scores. Sarah pulled Marcus aside afterward. He's ready. More than ready. He's one of the best service dogs I've seen come through this program. Marcus smiled. Pride and heartbreak mixed together. He's a good boy. You are a good trainer. Have you thought about what's next for you? After he graduates? I've got 8 more years, Marcus said. I'm not getting out anytime soon. I know, but there's a waiting list for this program. Lots of dogs who need trainers. Would you want to train another one? Marcus looked shocked. I could do that, if you want. You've proven yourself. And honestly, I could use trainers of your caliber. Marcus looked at me. Back to Sarah. Can I think about it? Of course. You've got 2 weeks. That night, Marcus asked me a question. Do I do again? Train another dog? Or is that betraying you? Replacing you? I looked at him. Sarah says there's a German Shepherd coming in next month. 3 years old. Failed out of police training for being too gentle. Needs to be retrained as a service dog. She's perfect for the program, but she's scared of everything. Needs someone patient. He scratched behind my ears. Part of me wants to say yes, because training you has been the best thing in my life. Given me purpose. Made me feel human again. Pause. But part of me feels like saying yes means I'm moving on from you. And I don't want to move on from you. I put my paw on his leg. What do you think I should do? If I could speak, I'd say, do it. Train her. Give her what you gave me. Give yourself what I gave you. That's not betrayal. That's purpose. That's love extending outward. But I couldn't speak. So I just leaned against him and hoped he understood. Graduation day. The ceremony was held in the prison chapel. Rows of chairs filled with corrections officers, prison administrators, program donors, the veterans, and their families in the front rows. David was there, looking nervous but hopeful. The 6 dogs and their trainers stood in a line at the front. Sarah gave a speech about the program, about second chances for dogs and for men, about how service and purpose can transform lives. Then, one by one, the trainers handed over their dogs. Each transfer took about 5 minutes. The trainer would demonstrate commands, explain the dog's personality quirks, offer care instructions, hand over the leash, and walk away. Some trainers cried openly. Some held it together. All of them looked destroyed. Finally, our turn. Marcus and I stepped forward. David stood. This is Keeper, Marcus said, voice steady, professional. He responds to all standard service dog commands plus the specialized PTSD protocol we discussed. He's food motivated, plays well with other dogs, needs at least 1 hour of exercise daily. He went through everything. Technical, detailed. Then he paused. He's also loyal and brave and the smartest dog I've ever worked with. He'll take care of you, I promise. David shook his hand. Thank you for everything. Marcus knelt down, looked me in the eyes. Be good, he whispered. Help him. That's your job now. He scratched behind my ears one last time. I love you. I'll never forget you. He stood, handed David the leash, and walked away, back to his seat in the trainer section. I watched him go, confused. We weren't done training. We still had work to do. Why was he leaving? I pulled toward him. Hey, buddy, David said gently. I know, this is hard, but you're with me now. We're partners now. I looked at David, back at Marcus. Marcus was sitting with his head down, shoulders shaking. I whined. It's okay, David said. I'll be okay, and so will we. The first month with David was an adjustment. His apartment was small, quiet, just him and me, no other dogs, no training center, no Marcus. I did my job. When David had nightmares, I woke him. When he had panic attacks, I applied pressure. When he became overwhelmed in public, I created space. When he dissociated, I grounded him. I was good at it. Everything Marcus had trained me to do. But I missed him. Every day I missed him. David noticed. You miss your trainer, don't you? He said one evening. Marcus. You miss Marcus. I looked at him. I get it. He was your person for 18 months. And then suddenly he was gone. That's hard. He scratched my head. For what it's worth, he gave me something before we left. Said I should wait a month to give it to you. I think maybe today's the day. He pulled out a package. Inside a rope toy, my favorite kind, and a letter. David read it aloud. Dear Keeper, I don't know if dogs read letters. Probably not. But David is reading this to you. So maybe you'll understand somehow. I want you to know that training you was the greatest privilege of my life. You gave me purpose when I had none. You gave me hope when I'd given up. You taught me that I'm capable of creating something good instead of just destroying things. I also want you to know that letting you go was the hardest thing I've ever done. Harder than accepting my sentence. Harder than losing my daughter. Harder than anything. But you have a job to do now. An important job. David needs you. And you're going to be amazing for him. You already are. I'm training another dog now. Her name is Scout. She's scared and broken and perfect. Just like you were. Just like I was. And I'm going to help her the way I helped you. Because that's what you taught me to do. I have 8 more years in here. 8 more years of training dogs, preparing them for their real lives. And every single one of them, I'll think of you. I'll remember what we built together. And I'll try to give them what I gave you. Purpose. patience, love. Thank you for saving my life, buddy. I hope I help save yours too. Be good. Do your job. Live the life you were meant to live. I'll never forget you. Love, Marcus. David was crying by the end. He really loved you, he said. I pressed against him. Yes, he did. And I loved him. And love doesn't end just because someone walks away. It continues in the work, in the purpose, in the way we change each other forever. 2 years later, David was different. He worked now, part-time at first, then full-time. He slept through most nights. He went to his nephew's birthday party. First family event in 6 years. He started dating. He smiled. You know what's crazy? He said one evening. I spent 3 years on a wait list for you. 3 years thinking a service dog would fix me. And you did help. You helped so much. But the crazy part is, Marcus was helping you while you were learning to help me. So really, both of us were being saved by the same person. Does that make sense? It did. We were both Marcus's purpose, his redemption, his way of creating good from the wreckage of his life. David started volunteering. He'd speak at veteran events about PTSD and service dogs. And he'd always talk about the program, about the inmates who trained these dogs. People forget, he'd say, that the men in that program are learning too. Learning to be responsible. Learning to care for something other than themselves. Learning that they can create good instead of harm. He'd pause. Marcus trained Keeper for 18 months. And in doing so, he gave me my life back. But he also gave himself a future. When he gets out in 6 years, he's going to work with service dogs. Because that's what Keeper taught him. That he's capable of changing lives. I got a letter. Well, David got a letter. For me. From Marcus. 5 years into his remaining sentence. Dear Keeper, David sent me updates, photos, stories about how you're doing. I can't tell you how much that means to me. You're amazing. Still. Always. I wanted to tell you, I've trained 6 more dogs since you. 6 more scared, broken, discarded dogs who became service animals, who saved lives. Scout went to a veteran with TBI. Ranger went to a veteran with mobility issues. Hope went to a woman with severe anxiety. Atlas went to a veteran with PTSD. Mercy went to a teenager with autism. Justice went to a police officer with PTSD. Every single one of them, I thought of you, what you taught me, how to be patient, how to see potential, how to build trust. I have 3 years left. When I get out, Sarah has a job waiting for me. Training coordinator for the program. I'll recruit new inmate trainers. Help with curriculum. Work with dogs full-time. I also have something else. Supervised visitation with my daughter. She's 16 now. Still angry. Still hurt. But willing to try. She asked me what I do in here. I told her about the program. About the dogs. About you. She said, so you're helping people now, instead of hurting them? And I said yes. And she said, good. It's not forgiveness. Not yet. But it's a start. And I have you to thank for that. Because you gave me a path forward. Showed me who I could become. Thank you. Again. Always. I hope you're happy. I hope David treats you well. I hope you know how much you mattered. Matter. Present tense. Because you still do. Love. Marcus. 3 years later. On a Tuesday morning, David's doorbell rang. He opened it. A man stood there. Tall. Broad-shouldered. Older now. Gray, creeping into his beard. But his eyes, I recognized those eyes. Hi, Marcus said. I hope this isn't weird. I got out last week, and Sarah gave me your address. I wanted to see him, if that's okay. David smiled. It's more than okay. Come in. Marcus stepped inside, saw me, and his face crumpled. Keeper, he whispered. I ran to him. 8 years. 8 years since I'd seen him, but I knew him instantly. His smell, his voice, his presence. He knelt down and I jumped on him and we were both crying and vocally me in the whimpering, full body way dogs cry when something is so overwhelming it transcends species. I missed you so much, Marcus said. So much. Every single day. I licked his face. Pressed against him. Yes, me too. He's doing great, David said. Best service dog I could have asked for. He's saved my life more times than I can count. Marcus looked up at David. Thank you for taking care of him, for sending updates, for letting him do his job. Thank you David said, for training him, for giving him to me, for changing both our lives. They talked for an hour about the program, about Marcus's plans. He was already working as Sarah's assistant, training the next cohort of inmate trainers, about David's progress. He'd just gotten promoted at work, about me, about how I'd connected them across impossible distance. Two broken men made whole by the same purpose. Finally, Marcus stood to leave. He started. Can I come back? Visit sometimes? I don't want to disrupt his life. But, yes, David said immediately. Please. He's your dog too, in the ways that matter. Marcus knelt down one more time. I'll see you again soon, he promised. Real soon. He scratched behind my ears. You did it, buddy. Everything I trained you to do, you saved him, just like I knew you would. He hugged me. I'm so proud of you. Marcus visited monthly after that. Him and David became friends, not just connected by me, but by their own experiences, trauma, healing, second chances. Sometimes they'd go for walks together, David, Marcus, and me. Sometimes they'd just sit and talk while I lay between them. Two men who'd each been broken, each been given purpose by the same program, each been saved. And me, the bridge between them, the proof that redemption is possible, that purpose can be found, that love, real love, doesn't end when circumstances change. It adapts, it continues, it becomes something new. I am 11 now, old for a dog, especially a working dog. I've been with David for 9 years. I've done my job well. He doesn't have panic attacks anymore, sleeps through the night, thrives. Marcus visits every week now. He runs the Second Chances program, trains 20 inmate trainers each cohort, has placed over 60 service dogs. His daughter visits him sometimes. They're rebuilding slowly, one conversation at a time. None of this would have happened without you, Marcus tells me during visits. You were the first, the one who showed me what I was capable of. Everything else came from that. My body is slowing down. My joints ache. My eyes are clouding. I sleep more than I work. David knows. The vet knows. Marcus knows. Soon, David says to Marcus one evening. Maybe weeks. Maybe a month. Marcus nods. He's crying. Can I be there? When it's time? Of course, David says. You should be. The day comes on a Saturday. I can't stand anymore. Can't eat. Can't do much beyond breathe. David calls Marcus. It's time. Marcus comes immediately. The vet comes to the house. Kind, gentle, explains the process. David holds my head. Marcus holds my paw. You were such a good boy, David says. The best boy. You saved my life. I hope you know that. You were my purpose, Marcus says. You gave me everything. I'll never forget you. Never. The injection, the warmth, the letting go, and I slip away between them. Two men I served. Two men I saved. Two men who saved each other through me. In the space beyond, I'm young again, strong, whole. There's a training center, vast, infinite, filled with dogs, all working dogs, police dogs, fire dogs, service dogs, therapy dogs, search and rescue dogs. All of us who found our purpose. All of us who served. A figure approaches. Sarah, but younger, ethereal. Welcome, Keeper, she says. Ready for your next assignment? Another dog appears. Young, scared, a shepherd mix with anxious eyes. This is Echo, Sarah says. She just arrived. Shelter surrender. High anxiety. Needs training. She looks at me. Think you can help her? I can. I will. Because that's what we do. We serve. We train. We help. Forever. Back in the living room, Marcus and David sit together after I'm gone. My body between them. He changed everything, Marcus says. For both of us, David agrees. They're quiet for a while. Then Marcus speaks. There's a dog at the prison. Just came in yesterday. German Shepherd. 3 years old. Severe anxiety. Needs a trainer. He looks at David. I'm going to train him. And when he's ready, he's going to save someone else's life. Because that's what Keeper taught me to do. David nods. That's what he taught us both. They sit with my body until the vet returns. Say their final goodbyes. And then they walk outside together. Into the sunlight. Two men bound forever by a dog who gave them purpose. who showed them that redemption is possible, that second chances are real, that love, service, sacrifice. These things echo beyond a single lifetime. And somewhere in a training center beyond this world, I'm teaching Echo to sit, to stay, to serve. Because the work never ends. The purpose never stops. And love, real love, continues forever.